Uh, we have an emergency repot. Normally I'd be doing the repotting in February, but high temperatures here in Florida have started pushing the buds on my Florida maple. So we're going to do a repot video. The National Arboretum in Washington, D.C. They really know how to display trees there. I really like going there. Quite often I went. All those trees you just saw, I've seen them personally. Very nice. My little maple. That's the way it started back in 2015. Finally got into this pot here. With the maples, we really look for the colors. This is a spring shot here in the spring. This next little video is of a shot. Lovely colors. This is from 2020 in December, around the 19th of December. Amazing, isn't it? Well, I can see, you probably see part of me, if not all of me. First thing I want to do is to start raking out the roots around the base of the tree. I'm not going to try to preserve any of this moss. It's littered with what we call artillery ferns down here in Florida. Some people are actually saying that I introduced them. I did not introduce them. So that did not happen. But I plan to do quite an extensive repot on this tree this time, because it did not get repotted last year, and I'm not sure whether it was declining or not, but I'm raking all this right over into the ground here. There will be long periods of silence with me because a lot of this footage I will speed up, because you'll still be able to see it. You just have to look quicker. So here we go, as Nigel would say. I'm using a rake. Sometimes they use a hook, depending. A lot of these surface roots I will be clipping off, depending on where they're going. I've had this maple since 2013. It was a freebie, urban yamadori they call it. It was a wild thing growing in the middle of a hedge. I didn't take the hedge out, but the hedge is now gone, but I got this tree out of there beforehand. And actually I got an oak, which I'll be repotting at some other time, that came out of the same area. Well, there's one of the first Yeah, I always usually repot this maple and all the other maples I've had in the past as soon as they start showing their buds, which is usually in February, not January. Of course, we are at the end of the month. Today is the 27th of January 2024. So, and we've had a weird season here. We thought we were going to get a cold front, but it didn't get below 34 degrees, and well, at least here in my area, didn't get below 34 degrees, and then it warmed up, really warmed up to what we got today. I'm going to go ahead and remove this piece of here we are, we're speeding up the film. There's another whole segment I have to add to this. He was talking about the weather. Now he's talking about various aspects of the root pruning. How it's going to be more drastic, sort of like Nigel Saunders. But he never does. He removes some very large roots in the next segment. And I think it's interesting to watch this at fast speeds like this. It's not a whole lot that you can take in at one time, but he'll continue raking out the roots, and we're getting ready to come up on the next segment, so we'll do something different there. Well, I put it under the water for a while, cut it back, and now I'm going to cut some of these big roots. I'm going to pull a Nigel on this thing. I'm going to start with this root here that circles around and hampers the whole tree. And then I'm going to cut this root here that's going across. This is something that Nigel would do also. I don't think I really got that. It's kind of hard when you can't see it. Yeah, Nigel would have cleaned these roots completely, so he could have seen in there. Well, I can feel it now. There we go. Big old root. Now we got this root coming up out of here. I kind of like that, and it really makes it nice to be able to, and this root that I've been playing games with all these years, I'm just going to cut it off. I'm going to leave this one because I kind of like that root, and this root here seems to be feeding a lot, so let me take a look closer at this root. Seems to go into the ground there, so I'm gonna cut it off here. Wasn't much on there, but there was something on there. Hopefully, it's got another root coming off the base of it here, so we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna nip this off. Like I say, I'm cutting roots that I've never cut before like this. It just feels strange for me to do that. But hopefully these cut roots will inspire new growth. cut this one root here because it's changing direction. Alright, there we go. Get that out of there. Try to get all these artillery little turcos out of there. So, I say this is the most roots I've cut off this thing in the last couple of years. Of course, I've not had it that long. Here's another root that's poking itself up. So, more surface roots. Alright. Going in the wrong direction. Alright. I got a different pot here for it. My Chinese elms were in this pot. Chinese elms are sitting over there waiting their turn. I really don't want to repot it now, but I did want to switch pots this year. So this is the back side. So you can see that this fits in here quite well. So kind of a little bit like that. So, well, let me prepare the pot and let me put you on still for a moment. Well, I got it in the pot. I put a mound in the middle. Added some Dr. Earth to the soil above. It's only 222, so it shouldn't be enough to really hurt the plant. So now it's just a matter of getting the tree where I want it. And I'll add some more soil back here on this side because I want it to lean towards the viewer. Down and up in there, so yeah. All right, now I got me one seat belt. That's all we ever wear in the car. So I've seen these guys. I wasn't going to put on one at all, but I didn't want to start a bad trend with you guys out there that start bonsai. You just never know when the mother-in-law is going to come over and grab the tree by the trunk and try to pick it up. That should hold it in. I don't have any mother-in-laws, so I don't have to worry about that. Last mother-in-law incident I had was way back in the 90s. I had a ponderosa pine and spent all this time creating a gin. She came over and said, "Oh, a dead branch," and just snapped it right off in front of me, no less. That's the thing about bonsai. A lot of people know something about it, but most people do not. Most people think, you know, they're cute and everything. And then some people like to think they know it all. Try to tell you the history of any particular species, but I'm not going to go there today. But we just keep filling it around it. The root ball is pretty wet because I went over there and tried to get some of that old soil off of it and do that Nigel thing. It did reveal some of those big roots that I agree, they probably just don't need to be there, so I got rid of them. And we'll see how that affects the tree. You know, you just never know. I always worried about how certain things would affect a tree. But I left all my chopsticks over there on my porch. But, you know, you got to MacGyver it sometimes. And afterwards, I'll get out here and with a chopstick and try to do this better. But sometimes you're not out there and you've got a chopstick, so you just need a, you know, like a straight edge of some kind. Something that's not really going to damage the roots when you're propping down on it. So, well, that pretty much concludes this segment. What I'll do is when I do the film, I'll show some of those gorgeous fall color shots that I took years ago. And I have to watch what I put on. I got called out by copyright on some Happy Face song that was one of the introductions. And I didn't select the song. It was part of the intro system that they did. I've decided I'm not going to do any singing intros anymore. Not that I won't use music, but I got it fixed. So if you watch my little video that is about the bougainvillea and the development of colors, you'll notice the intro is now muted. It does not have any sound to it, but it only lasts like 15 seconds, so it really didn't matter. I just, being new to YouTube, I wasn't aware of it. So, but it's all fixed now. So I was a bad boy. So, all right, let me grab the camera and we'll take you in for a closer look. Let me pull back so you can get a better look at it. It actually looks pretty good in that pot. Here's those photos that I told you about. This is a spring shot here. A couple different angles of it. Even one from above. Sometimes it would be red and sometimes a golden orange. And of course, there's the normal times it would be green. But then sometimes in the fall, right there, look at that orange and green. But then you move to another place and the spring colors are back. But here comes the fall again. This time orange, red, and then it gets darker red. Very dark. Finally, the darkest red that I've seen. This next maple is an old friend. I had this up in Maryland and DC. Japanese maple variety Katsura. It was in that white pot for a while. Then it went into a larger pot. Came to Florida. Oh, here she is trying to tell me the film's over. Yeah, she says she's been keeping her eye on me. Well, thank you.